What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Carter Scotland Allen here, and today we're taking a look at Top Gun Maverick. This film released last month in the month of May. I saw it in theaters and I did have a very enjoyable time, but let's not waste any more time and review this film. So Top Gun Maverick was directed by Joseph Kosinski, who also directed Oblivion, another Tom Cruise film, and of course this film obviously stars Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly, and Miles Teller. The story was done by Christopher McQuarrie, who you guys might know has done some of the more recent Mission Impossible films. After more than 30 years of service as one of Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. Training a detachment of graduates for a special assignment, Maverick must confront the ghosts of his past and his deepest fears, culminating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those who choose to fly it. So starting with the directing of this film overall is a fantastic sequel. For the majority, this film has a very tight and cohesive story and actually has a reason for existing. Kosinski managed to capture the original feeling of Top Gun while not feeling outdated or old. There also isn't an overbearing amount of callbacks in the film. In my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of the original and I'm not super attached to the original, so I might not even have noticed some of the callbacks. But as for a sequel film, as for a film coming out 20, 30 years later, you would think there's going to be a lot of callbacks. And there were, but not as many as I was expecting. I will preface this by saying I did not watch the original before seeing this film. I have seen the original plenty of times, so don't say that, oh, you had to watch the original before. No, I've seen it before. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times. That's enough for me. I don't need to see Top Gun ever again, period. And we'll get into that. As for the cast and the characters, the newcomers played their parts perfectly to a T, and they knew exactly what type of film that they were in. The only specific character that I had an issue was Jennifer Connelly's character being the love interest. I didn't have an issue with her as an actress or her lines or anything like that. I just felt like that specific plot line, that part of the story, felt a little drawn out and made the film feel a little bit slow. As for the story I mentioned before, the story actually has a reason for existing. When it comes to being a sequel, you'd think, oh, it's just a kind of sloppy reason for them to bring back Maverick, to bring back the cast, bring back Top Gun as a franchise, but it really does make sense in this story, the reason why they're doing things, the reason why Maverick might not be able to do certain things. It's all very reasonable and plausible, especially for today's standards. I'm not going to get into spoilers, but it really all makes perfect sense. As for the cinematography, for a film using real-life aircraft and real-life jets flying super freaking fast, the cinematography is about as good as it's ever going to get. It looks fantastic. There's nothing about the framing that's super creative or mind-blowing, but you're watching real-life jets fly extremely fast, do crazy spins and twirls, and it just all looks fantastic. It's nothing CGI super heavy. It's just that what you are watching is crystal clear, fun to look at, and easy to follow. As for the score, I will say it did feel a little bit lackluster. I noticed the obvious danger zone as well as the Top Gun theme, but after that I didn't really notice much of the score. I felt like most of the score in this film relied on the diegetic sound of the jets flying by, which was fine. I thought that was one of my favorite parts of the whole entire film was the sound design of those jets flying by your head, or the flares being lit off and just smoke in the air, smoke in the air. So those sounds were fantastic, but as for the rest of the soundtrack, it felt really unnoticeable, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depending on your point of view. Okay, and now moving on to the final thoughts. So you guys might know where I stand at this point on this film. I had fun with it. I had fun with it as a sequel. I had fun with it as a Top Gun sequel. I had fun with it as a movie on its own. I thought this film was completely way better than the original film. I don't ever need to see that original film again. The love interest storyline in that film is way too drawn out, again, like this film is as well. The visuals in the first Top Gun don't match this one at all, and that's obvious because of the 30-year gap, and I'm not expecting it to match, but why watch the original film when I could just go watch a better action film, a better story, it's just a better overall film. That being said, I don't need to see this film again. The only part of this film that I would like to rewatch is that final flight sequence because it's super engaging. I actually was on the edge of my seat. I had my hands like this in the theaters, just watching those jets fly through the mountains. I thought it was really entertaining, really cool, really fun watch. My parents loved it. They loved the original film though, so obviously it's hitting some nostalgia notes for many fans, many audience members, but didn't hit those for me. I will not rewatch this film. I had fun with it. I am a fan of Tom Cruise. I don't love him. He's obviously a weirdo, but it was fun. And that's my review of Top Gun Maverick. So let me know what you guys thought of Top Gun Maverick down in the comments below. I'm Carter Scotland Allen. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.